Welcome to another episode of Mojave River Valley News. I'm your host, Eric Swanson, and what we're doing today, we're doing campaign interviews. These are folks in the Mojave River Valley that are running for office here. We got some great ones that are coming up here. Stay with us, we'll be right back with you in just a moment. In a moment, we're going to be sitting down with Brandon Wood. Now, Brandon is currently one of the trustees of Victor Valley College. It'll be interesting to see what he believes that was successful, what is being done, and where the college probably needs to go next. You know what, the college is a major player along with the school districts up here, and a lot of this is played on exactly by what they're doing today out there. So it'll be interesting to talk to him, see what he thinks those changes need to be and what's going to happen. Hey, we'll be right back with you in just a moment. We're here with Brandon Wood. Now, Brandon, you are running for VVC again, but before we dive into that, let's go ahead and just tell the folks exactly who is Brandon Wood?
Well, I moved to the high desert about 20 years ago. I own a business, a law firm here in the high desert. Live here, work here. My kids all went to school here. They still live here. My wife, my son-in-law, my daughter all graduated from Victor Valley College. I'm proud of that. I didn't. I'd already finished school by the time I came to the area. I did my college work when I was in the Navy still. 8.5 years in the Navy, then a few years at Chapman down in Orange County, and we moved up here after that.
So why are you wanting to run for the board again, the trustees again?
I've kind of fallen in love with the job, honestly. I've been on the board for 9 years. I was appointed 9 years ago, and then ran in the first election after a year of being an appointed trustee, and ran in the last two elections. So initially I kind of was a little bit bamboozled into the job.
Oh, really? I didn't know that about you.
Some people in the community said, you need to come to a meeting. And so they had me come to a meeting, and I was sitting in the audience, and they were kind of prepping me. They had a plan. And then all of a sudden they said, you need to run for this job. And right at the same time that they came to me and said, you need to run, a seat came open. And so then they encouraged me to apply for the appointment. And I went against a whole group of other people who'd applied for the appointment, and got the spot. And at the time, I didn't completely know what I'd gotten myself into. I just knew that a lot of people that I trusted and respected were really pushing.
Well, you're walking into a multi-million-dollar organization.
Right.
Know? I mean, you guys, I believe, as far as you guys employ, I think if I remember, if I got it correct, over 1,000 people.
A lot of people.
But one of the things I want to touch on, because that I've watched you do, and I'm going to have to share this, is that you get involved with helping a lot of students that are away from the VVC.
I do.
That just shows what your intent is for there. So maybe we can just touch on that, just maybe 10, 15 seconds on, you were instrumental in mock trial in Hesperia.
Now you're touching my heart, my kids, man.
Yeah.
I was with mock trial as a scoring attorney and a judge at the courthouse for the competitions for probably 12-ish years. And then Oak Hills High School came to me and said, could you just give us a little bit of help? I'm like a sucker. I get bamboozled into these things. Just a little bit of help.
I had to bring this up.
Come to one practice,
yeah,
and give us some pointers. And the next thing I knew, I'm looking around saying, how did I become a coach? But yeah. I became a coach for Oak Hills High School mock trial last year.
And we beat Redlands.
Oh, so we beat
Redlands. So.
#1 in the county. These kids are champions. They are county champions. Program that's only, now 6 years old. Yeah. At the time, only 5 years old. And we took a group of Oak Hills kids, and we made them champions.
The reason I bring that up, because sometimes what we want to do here, like in this interview, is to figure out what comes from here. And so that's one of the things I thought it was just amazing what you've done. Now let's talk about the college a little bit. So we went through the pandemic. I know the pandemic was hard on you guys, like it was all schools.
Not as hard as most of the other schools in California. Okay. We're actually, if you look at the numbers, Victor Valley College has fared the Rona storm better than pretty much all the other colleges. Their enrollments are down massively. Our enrollment only dipped a little bit, and we're basically back to pre-pandemic levels for enrollment. Not quite, but almost back. In fact, last year we graduated more students than in the entire history of Victor Valley College.
Okay. Now so what do you see for you getting involved in the next 4 years again? What do you see kind of goals or directions or what because the college is not just what happens in the college. There's so much that goes on in connections. I mean, we could spend a half an hour talking about all the pieces here. What do you see in the next 4 years for the college? With the whole community and everything.
We're really on the upswing now. When I came on the board, I don't want to be negative, but when we came on the board, there were a lot of issues. Victor Valley College was in danger of getting taken over by a special trustee, potentially getting shut down. Now we're competing for the Aspen Prize, which is a nationwide prize to be named the best community college in the entire United States with $1 million in prize money. The real issue is to seek a higher level of performance. We're not really doing it for the fame or the glory or the money, but $1 million always helps. We're doing it to help us find that higher level. We're trying to be the best. So that's where we're kind of at now. Now we're on that upswing, which is a beautiful place to be. And now the name of the game is keep things going in the right direction. We've got the sports complex that we broke ground on. That's going to be a focal point for this high desert. It's going to be a place for everybody in this high desert to come, like Texas style, Friday night lights for football games and sporting events, track and field, not to mention the convention center that's going to be attached to that. It's going to be a great asset to the high desert. It's going to be the largest capacity of any forum in the high desert for meetings and gatherings, parties, weddings, whatever it may be. It's going to be the largest.
There are so many things that we could talk about. What you guys have done with the nursing program over there, what you guys have done.
100% NCLEX pass rate on the last round.
It's amazing.
Again.
Everybody, and I don't really hear.
Our nurses are the best.
I'm hearing this from other, because I'm a delegate with CSBA, and so we hear a lot of other schools, but unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time to talk about those things. But why not give the next 20 seconds here a pitch and say, well, why to vote for Brandon?
Well, I guess if you like what you're seeing at the college, if you like where we've come in the last 9 years, and you want to see things get better, that's the goal. We're really on the upswing, and we're going to take this thing all the way to the top. We are serious about this Aspen Prize. We're serious about being the best community college in the United States. And I think we're there now, but we're definitely on the upswing.
Well, thank you for sharing with us today, Brandon. Very good.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, we're back in the studio. We just got through interviewing Brandon Wood. Now, Brandon Wood is running for the Victor Valley College. I think this is his running for his third term, I believe is what it is. Hey, you know what? Without the partnership with the Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce, with Mark Creffield, and along with us, Mojave Valley News, this would be tough to bring you these candidates. So we have more to bring you. We hope we're going to bring as many as we can here. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe, please subscribe, ring the little bell, so when we get another video, be notified. We'll see you on the next one. So maybe we can just touch on that just maybe 10, 15